From the days of the Maccabees until the time of Jesus, Israel lived through long years of waiting. When Antiochus IV Epiphanes desecrated the temple, the Jewish people rose under Mattathias and Judah Maccabeus. They cleansed the sanctuary and found only one jar of pure oil, enough for one day. Yet it burned for 8. The temple was rededicated and the people celebrated, remembering God's grace among them. Yet after this victory, centuries of silence followed. Prophets no longer spoke. Foreign rulers controlled Judea. Still, the people waited for the one Moses, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and Micah had foretold. Into this longing world, Jesus came. He called fishermen, Peter, Cephas, and John, to follow him. They witnessed his works, heard his voice, and saw his glory. His ministry grew, and the Sanhedrin watched carefully. Among them, Gamaliel, a respected teacher, warned that if Jesus' work was from God, no one could overthrow it. When Jesus was crucified and rose again, everything changed. Peter and John saw him alive. Their fear turned to boldness, and in Jerusalem, they became the central leaders of the growing community of believers. Their teaching, judgment, and witness shaped the early movement. At this time, a Levite from Cyprus named Joseph, called Barnabas, son of encouragement, became known among the disciples. He was respected by the apostles and trusted within the Jerusalem council. Alongside him was his young cousin John Mark, who assisted the believers and learned the work of ministry. As the church grew, a young Pharisee named Saul of Tarsus, Hebrew of Hebrews, of the tribe of Benjamin, learned under Gamaliel. A Pharisee, zealous for the law, stood fiercely against it. Believing he was protecting Israel, he opposed Jesus' followers with zeal. He approved of Stephen's death and received authority from the chief priests to arrest believers. But on the road to Damascus, a light from heaven surrounded him, and he heard Jesus speak. Blinded and humbled, Saul learned he had been resisting the very Lord he sought to serve. When Saul returned to Jerusalem, the believers feared him, until Barnabas stepped forward. Barnabas brought Saul directly to Peter and John, the recognized leaders of the church, and explained his conversion and bold preaching. Through Barnabas, the apostles accepted Saul. Meanwhile, the message spread beyond Jerusalem. A new community formed in Antioch, and the Jerusalem leaders, under Peter's oversight, sent Barnabas to guide and strengthen it. Barnabas encouraged the believers, organized their fellowship, and ensured their teaching remained united with Jerusalem. Barnabas traveled to Tarsus to find Saul, believing God had called him for this purpose. He brought Saul back to Antioch, where the two taught together for a year. John Mark also assisted them, learning under Barnabas's direction. From this strong base in Antioch, the Holy Spirit set Barnabas and Saul apart for mission. They were sent out not independently, but as representatives of the church under the leadership of the apostles in Jerusalem. Their mission carried the gospel across cities like Lystra, Derbe, Iconium, Philippi, Thessalonica, Berea, Athens, and Corinth. As Saul's calling became more evident, he became known as Paul, and Barnabas continued to support him as a trusted mentor and fellow worker. Back in Jerusalem, Peter and John continued leading the movement. Doctrinal questions, especially concerning Gentile believers, led to the Jerusalem Council, where the apostles and elders met.